Okay, welcome to episode 3. So I've still been mucking around with the insulation. You can see I've put expanding foam in those cavities after I did the anti-rust spray, and I've done that all the way around in those cavities, and it really has made it sound a lot more solid when we drive. Even though the bus is an empty shell, it just sounds solid. I didn't put any in those bottom corners where the lights and gas lines go for the air conditioner. That way the expanding foam won't get in the way. So yeah, expanding foam all the way through there. I've done some cosmetic work at the front. So I got a semi-retired upholsterer to do the dash mat, and I painted all that ugly brown that was faded and a little bit cracked. I've painted it all black. And that's just sort of tidied it up a little bit. I painted that instead of the bright blue, which you can see in the corner there. And the brown doors, I've painted it grey and black, which has come up nicely. Changed out the steering wheel. That's a Boss kit that does the conversion from the old Toyota coaster, and then you just bolt the steering wheel to it, and that sort of cleaned that up a little bit, made it look a little bit more modern. What else did I do? Painted all of this black, which was all faded brown and cracked and yucky, and I've also put some PVC contact paper that looks like timber against a metal sheet that was along there that was just looking very tired. I'll be changing those switches out to modern ones with lights, and be changing that out for a new stereo unit with the Bluetooth phone stuff, and you know, we can do all the fancy stuff up top. I've painted the ceiling that I've left alone. I've painted that grey as opposed to that bright blue that was brushed on. I used a spray can, a vinyl spray of grey, and I painted the bright blue air conditioning vents that I've left on. I've painted them black. And what I'll do with those is I'm going to put a speaker in this one and some downlights in these ones for the passenger, and same on the other side. I'll put a speaker in there, some downlights there, and at the end of them, where it looks a bit ugly, a board's going to come straight down. Yeah, a nice sheet of timber that will come down, and that'll separate the cabin on both sides from the rest of the bus. Down here is, we've got a quite a large dog, and the dog sits there. I'm going to build a sliding board that'll come across to both the other ones and give something for the dog to rest against while we're driving, make it feel safe while we're doing it. So that's kind of where I've been at. I'll show you some before and after pictures of the front compared to what it looked like before I did all this cosmetic stuff. What else have I done? Down here I just painted the floor with a bit of, you know, just simple paint, just so I could actually see where I've got some holes that I need to fix up. It was just easier to see where I do need to do a little bit of work. There's quite a large hole there, and that actually might be where the shower goes anyway, because I might even use that as the grey water tank hole. But yeah, that's where I'm at. So thermo shield on the roof, two coats, a bit of hard work to get that on, obviously. Put the expanding foam all the way around, painted the floor. I am going to end up putting some sound deadening stuff all the way through, and then, you know, the matting stuff in all the rest of the cavities, and then I can board them up. Once it's all sound deadened and I put the proper floor on, I've now got the roof all done, so I can think about boarding up the ceiling. I've got the front cosmetics 90% complete, so I do have to head off to work, unfortunately. So my Christmas is out in the Pilbara, so I'm gonna be leaving it for a couple of weeks now, and when I get back, it'll be what's next. It will be air conditioning mechanic to come out and get that all fired up, get the sound deadening stuff against the walls. Thinking about sound deadening on the wheel hubs and the floors, and then a proper floor on top and proper ceiling. I'll have my blank canvas, and we'll be starting to think about designing the inside. So there we go. Oh, those wires there, they were for the speakers at the back. I've just wound them up and labelled them, so whoever I get to fit the stereo unit will know to run them to new speakers that are going to be here. So they'll become my rear, and those ones over there will become my front ones. Good sound unit, good music in the front, 2 boards to separate the front from the rest of the bus, nice dark curtain across there, and that'll make it all nice and private in here. So there we are, team. That's where we're at. Still got tons and tons to do. The more I start doing, the more I realise I've got to do, but I'm in no hurry, and it will just slowly take shape. So see you next time. Cheers.